well, I guess let's start with that. So how do you start with what a brand stands for? And then I guess after that, we could take a look at, can that change over time?
Yeah, I think it starts. I think you could probably get a lot of different opinions on this, but I think it really starts with solving a problem and really understanding, first of all, what is the problem that you're solving for? And is there an audience that wants your help? Right. And I think that if you believe that that audience is big and also isn't going to alienate people in some ways, and I'll explain about that in a minute, then I think that you continue to build on that brand message. You can also have sub messages below. So I'll give you a great example. When we first started Hint, I was trying to get off of diet sweeteners, and I was also trying to drink more water. And I thought, if water just tasted better, if I had a product that was that really helped me to drink more water. The key problem for me was that I wanted water to taste better. I liked carbonation. I didn't have any issues with carbonation, but I couldn't drink 8 glasses of carbonated water every day. Right.
Oh my gosh, you'd have stomach discomfort.
Right. And so for me, I just kept wanting to drink more water. A week after we launched Hint, I started hearing from consumers that this was in our local Whole Foods in San Francisco, that they had found our product. They were writing to the drinkhint.com on the back of the bottle, and that they were sharing all of this information about different health issues that they had. I got a couple of emails from people who were pregnant that were trying to give up diet sweeteners while they were pregnant. But then I also received emails from people, one in particular from a gentleman who told me about something that I had never heard of called type 2 diabetes. This is in 2005. And I'd heard of type 1 diabetes, but I had never heard of type 2 diabetes. And so I reached out to him and said, do you mind if I give you a call? It's a brand new brand. I'm really interested because I never really thought of launching this brand for this reason. And so he went on to, share with me that he was an ultra marathoner and that, he was embarrassed by the fact that he had diabetes because it just sort of cropped up on him, which for him meant that he wasn't necessarily born with this, that something he had been doing over the years had really caused this in some way. And, nobody really knew that much about type 2 diabetes back in 2005. And so he was drinking our product to help him get off of diet sweeteners. He didn't lead when he was talking to me about the brand with the idea that he wanted to drink more water, but he shared with me, okay, well, that's good too. I guess, drinking water is not a bad thing. But here he was drinking our product because he was trying to solve a health issue. Now, when you go back to my core reason for launching Hint, I wanted to solve a health issue for me too, which was around drinking more water and giving up diet sweeteners. But do you want to go out with a message that says, hey, we're an amazing product for people with type 2 diabetes? It's a fact that there's consumers that are drinking it. But if that's a segment of the population, even though it's a growing segment, I think that you run the risk of alienating people that are not, that don't have that issue, right? The same with pregnant women. I've had people who have said to me, I drink your product. I drink Hint all the time. My wife brought it home when she was pregnant. Is it okay that I drink it too? These are men who are, really enjoying the product. I'm like, of course it is. But again, you don't want to confuse the consumer by trying to focus in on these, segments and groups. But at the end of the day, the brand really, I think, and the brand promise for this consumer is really helping people get and stay healthier.
I think that is a vital point, Kara. And I've run a PR agency now since 2016. So we talked to so many clients over the years about this. And I think that is the number one thing, because it's a balance between niching enough but not niching too much. And I think sometimes people try to niche so far that the audience is so small that it's going to take you a long time to really make an impact if you can last long enough to make an impact, right? It's a balance between having the right niche and not niching too far.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I remember when we were first launching, and I knew a lot less about PR and kind of messaging back then. And I remember we were going out with some messaging around the fact that, you know, here's a mom, a mother of 4 kids, and she got her product launched into Whole Foods on the day that she was delivering her baby. And I would say now that, I mean, it's a true story. It's in my book. It's something that is, you know, memorable, but how many people were turned off by that because somehow or another they had twisted it in their mind that this was a drink for, you know, maternity patients. I don't know.
Sure.
Like, or maybe they don't like kids. Maybe they're not married. Maybe they're not ever going to have a baby, or they can't have a baby. Like, I think that that's the thing that you have to just be so careful. And so I've always, you know, said to other entrepreneurs that you definitely have to explain what your mission is, but in it, you have to be careful that you're not going out with those subtopics. Maybe those are hooks, but you have to really be careful about going out with it too much so that you're not identified always by, I guess, that story and that point.